Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to Nine Nar Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. The Human Condition, Second Edition by Hannah Arendt, is a landmark work of 20th century political thought that asks what it means to live a fully human life in the modern world. Rather than offering a standard history of ideas, Arendt analyzes the basic activities through which people build a shared world, labor, work, and action. She links these activities to enduring concerns such as freedom, equality, public life, technology, and the ways societies remember and promise. A central theme is how modernity reshapes human experience, especially through the rise of mass society and the growing authority of technical and economic thinking over political judgment. Arendt does not write a how-to manual or a partisan manifesto. She develops a vocabulary for describing what is at stake when the public realm shrinks and human plurality is treated as a problem to manage. The second edition is often read with attention to its framing materials and reception as a foundational text for understanding citizenship and political responsibility. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, labor, work, and action as the core of human life. Arendt organizes the book around three fundamental human activities. Labor refers to the recurring, necessity-driven processes that sustain biological life, such as producing and consuming what keeps us alive. It is cyclical and never fully finished, and it tends to tie people to need and survival. Work is different. It creates a more durable human world of objects, institutions, and artifacts. Through work, humans build a common environment that outlasts individual lives, shaping stability, memory, and cultural continuity. Action, the most distinctively political activity in Arendt's account, happens directly between people. It involves speech, initiative, and the capacity to begin something new in the presence of others. Action reveals who someone is rather than what they are, and it depends on plurality, the fact that humans live among equals who are also unique. By separating these categories, Arendt clarifies why many modern debates become confused. Problems of social welfare, economic production, and political freedom are often treated as the same thing, yet they rest on different logics. Her framework helps readers diagnose when a society mistakes the management of life processes for the creation of a shared world, or when it replaces public action with administration. Secondly, the public realm, the private sphere, and the social, a major argument of the human condition, is that freedom requires a public realm where people can appear to one another, speak, persuade, and appear to one another, speak, persuade, and act. Arendt contrasts this with the private sphere, historically associated with household life and necessity. In her analysis, the modern age introduces an expansive intermediate domain she calls the social, where concerns once confined to private life, especially economic needs and conforming behaviors, move to the center of collective attention. This shift does not automatically improve or worsen human life, but it changes what public life means. When social concerns dominate, politics can be reimagined as management, the coordination of behavior, distribution, and security rather than contestation, judgment, and common world building. Arendt worries that this transformation weakens the space in which individuality and plurality can be expressed through action. The result can be a culture that prizes predictability and consumption while treating genuine political disagreement as dysfunction. Her distinctions also illuminate contemporary tensions around privacy, identity, and visibility. Readers can use Arendt's categories to think about how platforms, bureaucracies, and mass culture reshape what counts as public speech, what becomes merely personal, and what is absorbed into norms that reward sameness. The topic encourages careful thinking about the conditions that make citizenship more than a legal status. Thirdly, freedom, natality, and the capacity to begin. Arendt ties freedom to the human ability to start something new, a capacity she links to natality, the fact that each person is born as a unique beginning. This is not freedom understood primarily as inner choice or private autonomy, but as a worldly reality that appears when people act together in public. Because action occurs among others, it is inherently unpredictable. It can set off chains of consequences no one controls, and it exposes actors to risk, misunderstanding, and failure. Arendt treats this unpredictability as a feature rather than a flaw, because it signals that humans are not merely executing necessities or following scripts. Yet the same unpredictability creates a problem. How can a common world remain stable when action continually introduces novelty? Arendt points to faculties such as promising and forgiveness as political practices that can stabilize human affairs without eliminating freedom. Promising creates islands of reliability in a sea of contingency, enabling cooperation over time. Forgiveness addresses the irreversibility of action by allowing relationships and communities to move beyond harm without erasing responsibility. This topic helps readers see why Arendt is skeptical of political visions that seek total control through planning, ideology, or technical expertise. It also offers a constructive way to think about leadership, civic participation, and the ethics of public life. Freedom is not simply possessed, it is practiced through initiating, responding, and sustaining commitments in a plural world. Fourthly, modernity, science, and the challenge of world alienation. Arendt examines how modern scientific and technological developments change the way humans relate to the world they inhabit. She suggests that certain shifts, such as the rise of scientific abstraction and the attempt to view reality from an external standpoint, can produce a kind of world alienation. In this condition, the shared world of common sense experience and public meaning becomes less authoritative than models, calculations, and systems that promise control. Arendt is not simply anti-science. She is concerned with the political and existential consequences of treating human affairs as if they were technical problems with optimal solutions. When thinking becomes dominated by process and function, durable things and public spaces can be devalued. Alongside this, economic growth and mass consumption can erode the stability that work once provided, making the world feel disposable and endlessly replaceable. Arendt connects these trends to the expansion of administration and to the reduction of politics into governance by experts. For contemporary readers, this topic resonates with debates about data-driven decision-making, automation, and the authority of algorithms. Her analysis invites questions about what gets lost when measurement substitutes for judgment, or when speed and scalability replace deliberation. The broader point is that a shared world requires more than technical mastery. It needs spaces, institutions, and cultural practices that allow people to appear to one another, remember, argue, and build meaning together. Lastly, history, tradition, and the task of political thinking, the human condition also functions as an argument about how to think politically after major ruptures in Western history. Arendt treats tradition as neither a chain to be obeyed nor a museum to be curated. Instead, she suggests that modernity has weakened inherited categories that once organized moral and political understanding, leaving people with powerful tools but fewer shared standards for judgment. Her approach is to return to foundational experiences, such as acting in concert, founding institutions, and maintaining a common world, and then to examine how these experiences were understood in classical contexts and transformed later. This method helps readers grasp why Arendt is wary of ideologies that offer total explanations. When categories become rigid, they can obscure real human plurality and make political life vulnerable to domination. Arendt emphasizes the importance of thinking itself, not as solitary contemplation detached from the world, but as a disciplined effort to distinguish among activities, weigh consequences, and resist the pressure to conform. She encourages attention to language, to the meanings embedded in ordinary terms like freedom, power, and public, and to the ways these meanings shift under social and technological conditions. For readers today, this topic provides a model for political reflection that is both critical and constructive. It teaches how to analyze institutions and events without collapsing everything into economics, psychology, or morality alone, and how to recover a sense of responsibility for the shared world. In conclusion, this book is best suited for readers who want a rigorous framework for understanding politics beyond daily news cycles, students of political theory, philosophy, sociology, history, and anyone involved in civic leadership, law, journalism, or public service. It also rewards general readers who are willing to work through dense concepts in exchange for lasting clarity. The benefit to a reader's life is not a set of quick habits, but a strengthened capacity for judgment. Arendt helps you name what is happening when public debate becomes mere administration, when economic necessity crowds out civic freedom, or when technology encourages a view of human beings as predictable resources rather than plural persons. Her distinctions between labor, work, and action can reorient how you think about career, community, and participation, making it easier to see where meaning and freedom actually arise. Compared to many similar books, The Human Condition stands out for its architecture. It offers a coherent map of human activities and their political implications rather than a single-issue argument. It also avoids simplistic optimism or cynicism, giving readers a language to diagnose modern problems while defending the possibility of genuine public life. For those who want a foundational text that continues to illuminate contemporary conflicts, it is worth buying and revisiting. If you would like to support Hannah Arendt, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.